entrepreneurial employees, innovative employees, creative employees are demanding a different sort of value proposition from their employers. They're demanding something like an alliance. They're expecting their career to be transformed as a result of having worked at your company. And while they work at your company, they're expecting the kind of autonomy and cultural creativity to enable them to do their best work. So how do you recruit, manage, and retain amazingly entrepreneurial employees? Well, as we said, it starts with an alliance. It starts with an acknowledgement that lifetime employment's over, and that the new employer-employee compact is premised on mutual investment and mutual benefit. The company saying, if you work here, we will help transform your career on the condition that you help transform our company. That's the high-level premise. But the way you organize the alliance, the way you kind of choreograph the progressive levels of commitment between the company and the employee is through a framework that we call tours of duty. Think about any relationship in life, romantic, friendship. You don't have someone to marry you on the first date. You don't have someone to be your best friend the very first time you have coffee with them. Isn't it odd then that in employment, the day one conversation sounds an awful lot like, we're so excited to have you here forever. Far better to delineate the terms of employment into discrete chunks, to kind of bring a sort of crisp focus to the nature of the relationship by defining discrete tours of duty by which the employee will commit to the employer and the employer will commit to the employee. So a tour of duty first has a mission objective. The employee needs to know what he or she is going to do at your company. Now, there are a lot of really amazing companies in this region. Companies that have been around for a long time, that have done real innovation, and that have pretty inspiring mission and a pretty credible case that they're really changing the world on a massive scale. But if you're not at the very top of one of these organizations, the mission statement of the company is an insufficient true north for what that employee is trying to get out of their employment. I'll give you an example. At LinkedIn, the mission of the company is to connect talent with opportunity at massive scale. It's a very inspirational mission. There's all these case studies of people who found their dream job through LinkedIn. It's a very inspirational place to work. But if you're Jeff Weiner or Reed, you get fired up by that because you're on the front lines of seeing that mission manifest in the world. If you're 3 or 4 levels down in the org, if you're a data scientist in the talent solutions group or something, you know that that's the mission in some abstract sense, but you don't really feel like you touch it day to day. You're involved in a discrete part of the organization. And so for you to get meaning out of your work, and I'm sure you guys are also familiar with the studies around millennials and their quest for meaning. For you to feel meaning out of your work, you need to know that there's some mission that you're on that's tangible, that's discrete, and that if achieved, will really help transform the company and transform your career. So mission objective might be, over the next 18 months, we're going to ship this new product. And that's going to be really important for the company because of the following. And by you doing that, your career will be improved in the following ways. You'll learn the following skills. You'll list the following publications on your LinkedIn profile. You'll be a co-author on the following sort of patent. You will have grown your professional network in a certain important way. It's being quite specific about what the mission is: ship a new product, grow a sales team by a certain amount, grow revenue, whatever it is. And it's being specific about how the company and the employee will both benefit. And then, crucially, and this is what's hard for managers sometimes to do, is to talk openly about a time horizon that's realistic. So when we're working on the book and talking to a lot of companies in Silicon Valley and outside Silicon Valley, we heard some pretty consistent data points on time horizon. So Eric Schmidt at Google told us that Google thinks about tours of duty is 2 to 5 years, an initial tour of duty. year or two to learn the job, a year or two to do the job, a year or two to transition to successor. It really will depend on what the right length of time is. And it's not fixed in a contract. It's rather an expectation setting. The company says, look, we're going to invest in you to do great work at this company. And as part of that investment, we're going to expect you to stick around for 3 years or 4 years to get this meaty project done. And in exchange, what we can commit to you is that once you achieve that project, your LinkedIn profile will look different in the following sort of way. Once you've defined a tour of duty that has that time horizon, you now have a natural cadence for checking in.